It's interesting you mentioned Dembele's attitude. Lothar Matthäus said that was the reason that Bayern Munich should stay away from him. How big of a concern, Jules, is that with this player?
It is a big concern, I think, from everywhere, from Didier Deschamps and the French national team, from Barcelona and the manager Valverde, but also people at the club, but also I believe for the people around Ousmane Dembele. The talent is there. There's no doubt. The problem he has to mature, and he's still very young, and there's still time. But we've said that with players before. Yeah, there's time, and then he gets older and older, and he never changes. So there's a point where he will have to become more professional. He will have to have a better lifestyle than the one he has right now to fulfill all that potential, because the potential is immense. It's just that right now the potential doesn't really go with the rest, and that's the problem.
Jules, I wonder, you're a PSG fan. Between Coutinho and Dembele, who would you prefer to have?
That's a tough one. I mean, I think, and Tuchel certainly believes that he can turn Dembele into a world-class player and get him that maturity that he needs and that professionalism that he needs. And I would trust Tuchel to do that. I'm not sure I would trust Dembele to get there, but anyway. And for Coutinho, like Ali said, it depends what Coutinho you get. If you get the Coutinho that is on top of things, that is committed, that is motivated, that is playing at that top level that we've seen him play at Liverpool, but again, not consistently, and at Barcelona even less consistently, or with Brazil than at Liverpool, then I would say yes to Coutinho ahead of Dembele maybe. But there's something about Dembele that I really, really, really like, and if you can put a bit of that seriousness in his head and a bit of that maturity, then I think he could take you really, really far.
Guys, from a Barcelona perspective, let's say they don't get Neymar. Dembele or Coutinho, who's worth keeping more?
Oh, boy. You keep Dembele based on potential. You already saw what Coutinho has been for you, and he's had ample time to prove himself with Barcelona, and it hasn't happened. And so you're thinking, okay, we already know what Coutinho has been here. To think that he's going to be that much better would potentially be a mistake. Whereas Dembele, here's the problem with talent and potential. Everybody thinks they can turn it around. See, the next manager thinks, I can be the guy that gets the best out of him. But with Dembele, the problem is that he hasn't really been on the field enough for you to say, we haven't gotten the best out of him, or there's more to give. Injuries have been an issue with him. So there is a higher ceiling for him, even than Coutinho's. I would keep Dembele simply because I'm thinking that I can get more out of him than I can out of Coutinho.
I see a man says, as Ali, I keep Dembele for the potential. I think the concerning thing here, and as much as we discuss Dembele, and I find amazing, is that you share a dressing room with Lionel Messi, with his talents, with his focus, and as long as he has been at the top of his game, and you don't learn anything, that, for me, is a question that only Dembele can answer.
Jules, we're talking about this all in the abstract. What are the odds that it actually gets done before the summer's over?
I would still say 60-40 for the move to happen, but there will be a but, and there will be a but for a long time. But PSG are so keen on letting him go. I think Barca are really keen of getting him back. He certainly wants to go back to Catalonia. I think it can happen, but like we said since the start of the show, it's a very complicated one to make happen.